Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you here with me today. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are not new here, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about how to understand your payslip. From PAYE to NICs, student loan deductions and pensions, the world of payslips really is a planet of its own. It is not something that we're taught at school. Nobody ever explains to us why we are getting deductions from our hard-earned cash, and that is exactly what I am here to talk to you about today. So I'm going to explain and talk you through how your employer gets from your actual salary all the way down to what you actually receive in your bank account. So I'm going to run you through the purpose of a payslip and just a little bit of background. Then I'm going to move on to an explanation of some of the standard information that you will be used to seeing on your payslip, but you might not know what it means. Then I'm going to move on to some of the words, abbreviations and references that you can see on your payslip. Then I'm going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we get asked because we process payroll for over 60 people, and also we are employers. So I've collected all of the most frequently asked questions and I'm going to run through them as well. So without further ado, let's go. So first things first, I'm just going to run through the purpose of a payslip and a little bit of background. So a payslip, also referred to as a wage slip, is a document that is issued by your employer which details everything that you need to know about your pay before tax, as well as any deductions. Your payslip itemizes the income that you've earned over a certain period, and it also includes your year-to-date balances. It should also show taxes and any deductions that have been taken from you out of your earnings. And then finally, it will show the amount you actually receive in your bank account, which can also be referred to as your net pay. So in terms of what a payslip actually is, a payslip can serve as proof of income and proof of employment, which is more often than not actually required when you are applying for a loan or another form of credit. By reviewing your payslip regularly, you can make sure that you have been paid correctly and really understand what those deductions are and what they mean. Okay, so generally speaking, we can break the payslip down into three different sections in terms of the numbers that are displayed on the payslip. So we've got basic pay, which if you are a salaried member of staff is generally your annual salary divided by 12 plus any benefits or extra pay like bonuses that is going through your salary. So first up, we have got your basic pay. If you are not a salaried member of staff and you earn wages by the hour, your basic pay will be your hourly rate multiplied by the number of hours you worked during the pay period. So once we've worked out what your basic pay is, we've then got the deductions. So from your basic pay, we deduct taxes, contributions, and deductions. The difference between your basic pay and your deductions equals your net pay, and it's the net pay that you will see in your bank account at the end of the month. Next up, let me explain some of the basic and standard information that you can expect to receive on your payslip. First up, nice and easy, we've got your payroll number. So your payroll or employee number is simply the reference that's used by your employer to identify you on their payroll software. So if you have an issue with your pay or you'd like to query something with your employer, it's super useful to have this to hand when you're speaking to the payroll team. Next up, we've got your personal information. So your name and sometimes your home address will be displayed on your payslip. Don't forget to keep your employer updated if any of this changes, as they'll need to update their records too. Next up, we've got the date. So the date on your payslip is more often than not the date that you receive your wages. It's important that you know that legally you should receive your payslip on or before the date that you physically get paid. Next up, we've got your national insurance number. So your national insurance number, which is also sometimes called an NI number, is the number that's used by HMRC or the reference to identify you and separate you from everybody else. The NI number ensures that any tax and national insurance contributions that you make are allocated to your name and you get credit for paying them. It helps you to build up your entitlement to state benefits and state pensions. And in essence, it's like your personal account number with the British government, and it stays the same throughout your entire life. Finally, we've got your tax tax code. So your tax code tells your employer how much tax-free pay you should get before they have to deduct tax from your wages. Most people in the UK who have one job or one pension are on a standard tax code. In 2022, the standard tax code is 1257L. If you're on that tax code, so 1257L, as an example, in that tax year, you would be able to earn £12,570 before you pay tax. So if you see what I did there, the tax code 1257 turned into a tax-free allowance of 12,570. So the number on your tax code, if you pop a 0 on the end, is how much you can earn before you pay tax. So next up, let me explain some of the words you might see on your payslip. So PAYE. PAYE stands for pay as you earn. This is actually income tax, which is deducted by your employer, and it's sent on your behalf straight to the British government. NICs. So NICs stand for National Insurance Contributions, aka more tax, but this is a different kind of tax. So National Insurance fund the state benefits that we receive, and it contributes towards our state pensions. Next up, we've got EE pension. This is the employee's pension contribution, aka how much you've contributed into your workplace pension that month. Very similarly, we have ER pension, which is the employer's pension. This is the employer's pension contribution into your pension fund. And finally, for this section, we have got student loan deductions. So student loan deductions are made straight out of your wages by your employer, and again, they are sent straight off on your behalf. You will either have a plan type 1 or type 2 as a repayment plan, and the plan type that you are on will be dictated on the years that you started and finished studying in the UK. So the thresholds of repayment and the percentages of repayment are different for the two. And if you don't know which plan type you are on, you can actually work it out by having a look at which year you started and finished studying and compare that to your plan type. You can also find it on your student loan statements, or you could contact Student Finance to find out. Finally, I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions that we get about payslips and give you the answers to them. So first up, we have got, is my employer legally obliged to give me a payslip? And the short answer is yes. So the Payment of Wages Act 1991 grants all employees to the right of a payslip. And as of April 2019, the Employment Rights Act amendment came into play, which also stipulates that your employer is legally required to list the details of the number of hours that you are being paid for hourly paid staff. Next up, we have got, when should I receive my payslip? So payslip law and the legal bits stipulates that your employer must give you your payslip on or before the date that you are physically paid. So this will vary depending on the type of business that you work for. Some businesses pay monthly at the end of the month, and others pay every certain number of weeks. The final frequently asked question we've got is, does my employer have to physically give me a paper copy of my payslip? Employers can choose if they give you physical copies of your payslips or deliver them electronically to you via a secure method. So today I have talked you through the purpose of the payslip and a bit of background into what a payslip is and exactly what it means. Then we covered off the standard information you can expect to see on a payslip. I then ran through the definitions and the abbreviations of some of the funny words that you might have seen on your payslip before and not actually known what they meant. And then finally, we covered off the most frequently asked questions that we get as people that process payroll. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Please do, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more juicy content like this one, please hit the subscribe notification so you get notified every time I release a juicy video like this one. Thank you again, and I hope to see you again very soon.